Hello and welcome back to another Final Table commentary. If at any point in time you find yourself not caring for the commentary, there'll be a link in the description down below to the video and BCP Poker Replays YouTube account. So if you choose to do so, you can go check out the action in some silence. With that being said,
prepare for battle.
Oh yeah, he did it again. So glad BCP put that in there. Anyways, we got another stacked Final Table from the Scoop 2023 event. Number I don't know, but it's a 10k high roller. We got Stump Fed flopping the straight draw. Boopity boo, looking for a 3 or an 8. Lena making 2 pairs. It's good news for them. We also got Wizzo Wizzo. We got sitting on there, 3.5 big blind stack. Munzie Man with 69 blinds, very nice. Dex with 59 blinds, almost 60 bigs. Gogak Sniper with 14, European with 3.6, and Pass with about 80 blinds. The big stack, first place position for Pass, we see 207k for first, 160 for second, 125k for third, and you see the rest of the dollars there as well. River goes check, check, Lena takes a nice pot. European has a king and an 8 of the same suit, we'll see if they just find the fold. In the big blind has a jack and a 5 with 1 big blind committed, 2.3 behind. We see Pass open up the queen 10 offsuit. Stump Fed with ace 9 suited. Might just pass on this one. Ace 10 suited for Wizzo Wizzo. Lena with a king and a queen. Could see a couple calls here. Lena could also 3-bet, that would be fun to see. There's the 3-bet to 9 blinds. We'll find the fold. Pass will find the fold as well, I suppose. Wizzo Wizzo in a super weird spot, but they quickly fold. So Lena picks up a couple of jacks. In the small blind with the 6 and a 5. We'll find the fold. They do have half a big blind committed, only 1.7 behind, but what can you do? 6-5 offsuit just hits the muck. 6-4 from Munzie Man calls. 3-2-2 flop. That's a straight draw, backdoor flush draw for both players. The straight draws for Munzie Man. Goes for the check raise on the flop here. Lena gonna play call. Queen on the turn goes. How does this go? Does Munzie Man continue the bluff? They do. 14.5 big blinds. Large chunk of Lena's chips. 46 blinds in the middle, ace of clubs on the river, so the flush completes. And I think Munzie Man sticks in another bet here. Lena goes super deep in the tank and finds the fold. Doopity doo, Munzie Man gets one through. Ace jack for pass, they're gonna open it on up. Lena with a couple of 10s will play call. Doopity doo. 6-9 for is thinking it over, but they'll fold. The pot is juiced for them, but they say no. 6-9 has hit the muck. 9-8 4 flop goes. Does Pass stab here? He's got the jack of hearts. That's a pretty powerful card. Feels like we can't fold on the flop. Could put in a bet. Pass says let's go for the check. 2.4 blinds, Lena says, is the price to go to the turn. Pass will call for spades on the turn, goes check. If Lena puts in a bet, I think we can fold the ace jack now. It's 9 big blinds. Yeah, F this pot. I mean, an ace or jack would make Pass the best hand, but he finds the fold on the turn. European with a queen and a jack off the 3 blinds will just fold. Has 1.4 blinds. It is going to be weird. European's going to stick in 1 blind next hand. Just going to be a weird spot for him. Lena with a king and a jack goes for the open. Goes deep in the tank with 10-5 offsuit here. They will let this go, of course. So if gets a ladder, how much is that? About 7k? Looks like a little bit less. King 3 for they'll fold. Queen 9 for Munzie Man can open it on up. Ace 7 suited for European in the big blind. We'll get this all in. Don't think we're folding. We got one big blind in the middle, 1.4 behind. We quickly call, 56%. Bad turn. That's a flush. Top pair, no good, and we're going to lose European. Might stick it in with the 8-9 suited here. They do stick it in, 29% for them. Obviously, that number is going to go up as we see hands be folded. King, Jack for decks. They go for the raise. That's 40%. Looking for 8-9 or oh, just the heart now, but the heart does not come. Dex takes that one down. Gogak Sniper with King Queen suited will stick in half their stack and get it through pre-flop. Ace 5 for Dex off the big stack. We'll see if he opens it up. He could. Might just fold as well. Obviously, those are your two options. I suppose he could limp. He goes for the raise and takes it down. So he's got 3 options. He chooses the raise option. Queen Jack for pass. We'll open it on up. Ace 5 for Wizzo Wizzo will hit the muck. And we're moving along. Ace 4 suited for Munsey Man in the small blind. Gets folded rounded to him. Goes for the 3.5x and that will get through pre. King 7 for Gogak Sniper in the big blind. Munsey Man from the button will raise 9 to 8 off. Nice little jam here by Gogak. That'll buy the pot pre-flop. They're chilling out with 14 blinds in last place. 6-8 suited for Dex just hits the muck. Didn't want to raise into passes big blind. Queen Queen for Wizzo Wizzo. They'll raise under the gun. And Stump Fed in the big blind with an 8 and a 7 might just find the fold here. This is likely a very, very tight opening range. Queen 10 suited for Gogak Sniper. We'll see what you do. Facing the open from under the gun. Might just find the fold. Would be fun to see a jam. I think it would get through this hand. Ace Queen for Stump Fed. Might take the chance. Do we ever just call here and play post flop? Weird spot off 21 blinds. Puts in the non-all-in 3-bet. Makes it 6.2 bigs. Interesting. Of all things, I was not expecting that. And call, I didn't really believe. Half-heartedly was just throwing out words, you know? Ace King for Stump Fed. Queen 10 suited for Lena. 8s for Wizzo Wizzo. We'll see what the hell happens here. We could just see a bunch of folds. Munsey Man in the big blind with King 7 suited, I think defends. Oh, we see a jam from the 8s. We're going to have a big flip here. Doopity-doo. 7-2-2 flop. No ace or king yet. And Stump Head is down to 4.2 blinds. Wizzo Wizzo wins the race. 44 bigs now, and he's an ace and a 5. Raises it on up. Munsey Man in the small blind with King 7 suited. Could stick in a 3-bet. He finds it. 8 blinds to go, Wizzo Wizzo. That'll be a fold. Nicely done by Munsey Man. Gotta say, Munsey Man's kind of on fire. Up to 90 blinds. They get the big bluff through against Lena. Get a nice little 3-bet through against Wizzo Wizzo. And they've done a good job of stealing pots. Just keeping pots small and stealing, stabbing, taking them down. Ace Queen for Wizzo Wizzo. Pass with a couple of 8s. Surely we're going to the flop. 10-6-3 goes check. Then what do we do with our Ace Queen with the backdoor diamonds? Backdoor straight draw. Wizzo Wizzo goes for a large bet. 3.2 blinds into 6. Pass. Can't fold with the 8 of diamonds, I don't think. Pair of 8s with that 8 of diamonds calls. 3 on the turn. Goes check. Then weird spot. What do we do with the ace and the queen, Wizzo Wizzo? Do we just bomb it? That might work against the 8s here. We just are going to go to the river, realize our equity. Ace of clubs on the river. Wizzo Wizzo makes top pair. Pass has certainly seen better rivers. He's going to check. Excuse me, and hopefully fold. Excuse me. Doobity-doo, doobity-doo. 7.9 blinds is the bet. Diamonds did miss. So you could have like King Jack of diamonds. Is that going to bluff on the river? King Queen of diamonds. Is that going to bluff on the river? That's 2 combinations of hands. Pass says it's a pretty easy fold with the 8-8. Surely there's some other, like just queen jack, some other bullshit that misses, that fires away. Doesn't have to be diamonds, you know? Doobity-doo-doo-doobity-doo. Munsey man with an ace and an 8. King 7 for Wizzo Wizzo. Doobity-doo. Queen 8, 5 flop goes check, bet, fold, right? Yep. Queen 10, Munsey man will raise it on up. King 4 for Lena in the big blind, just lets it go. Ace King for Dex will raise under the gun. Queen Queen for pass. We could call, I suppose. Keep the pot small, play in position. Pass says, yep, that's what we're going to do. King 7 4 flop. Good news for Dex. Pass does have the backdoor flush draw. No backdoor straight draw. Has the 3 of a kind draw. Doobity-doo, he has to call. 10 on the turn. It's a spade, so flush does not complete. Pass doesn't pick up any equity, just looking for a queen now. Sees a large bet on the turn, and he can fold now. Queen of clubs is a real bad card for him to have. He wants his he finds the call. Ace of clubs on the river. Pass could turn his hand into a bluff. It would be a bad time to do so. Ace king. Do we still find the call here? This is a weird pot. Do we just check and hope to win? I feel like a bluff has to come in by pass, but I don't know if ace king folds. Pass does fire it all in, and ace king hits the muck. What a play by pass. Calls on the turn, gets an ace of clubs on the river. Pass jams it all in as a big bluff ski. Stump feds all in with ace and a 5. Munsey man with an ace and a king is going to call. Now he puts in the raise. I'm so stupid. 5 on the flop. Why would he call? He's got ace and a king. Put in a raise. Put a little pressure on Dex at least. So stump feds up to 5 blinds. Passes up to 70. Dex down to 33. Holy shit. Ace 6 for Wizzo Wizzo. King queen for Lena. Could see a 3-bet. We could see a call. They just land on the fold option. 8-7 for Gogak in the big blind. 1 blind to call. Let's go to the flop. No, not this time. 6-6 for Wizzo Wizzo. I suppose Gogak has to play super tight as long as stump fed's still in the game with the 5 big blind stack. Ace 9 for Muns. We'll go for the 3-bet and take that one down pre-flop. Queen Jack for Dex. They're going to raise stump fed in the big blind with an ace and an 8. They could stick it all in here. Doopity-doo. Eventually. Do they just call? Look to see the flop? Huh. Stump fed does just land on the call option. King Jack 8, or King Jack 2, sorry. 1 club. Dex puts in a 1 big blind bet. And maybe we just fold our ace 8 now. Weird spot. Stump fed finds the call with the backdoor nut flush draw, backdoor straight draw, jack on the turn. Goes check. I would like to see a check by Dex. You're not going to get a bluff out of stump fed. But doopity-doo, they do land on the check option. I don't think you're going to bluff off your ace 8 suited here. It's not going to work. Don't do it. Goes for the check. He's still ahead of like queen 10, queen 9. But then the question is, do you still call on the 3 of hearts river when flushes get there? Straights miss. Weird spot for stump fed. I wouldn't be surprised if he lands on a call. Just imagine queen 9 with a heart. What else is there? Even maybe nice fold by stump fed. Doopity-doo. Nice fold. Ace 3 for Muns. Queen 9 for stump fed with half a blind committed. Is thinking about sticking in the last 1.3. Queen waiting in the big blind. Stump fed does stick it all in here. Wizzo Wizzo is going to size up a 3-bet. I don't think you call with the queen here. May as well fast play it. He jams it all in for 45 blinds. 9 on the flop. Heart? No. No 8. No, the 8 wouldn't get the job done either. Doopity doo. Just the 9 or heart. Stump fed's gone. Do. Ace jack for Gogak off 11 bigs. Looks like an all-in. Could stick in half his stack as well. He goes for the half a stack. Commitment to the pot. Boopity doo. Gets on through. Pass with queen 6 suited is just going to fold under the gun. Lena with an ace and a jack. They'll raise it on up. 10-9 for Gogak. Again, I want to see a flop, but they might just go in chip preservation mode. They are going to just find the fold here. King queen for Muns. Raising it up. Pass with a king 4 suited in the big blind. I'd love to see a 3-bet. They play call. Ace 10-7. Nobody with a flush draw. Munsey with their straight draw goes for the big bet. And the big bet will get through. Ace 5 for Muns. Off the 97 big blind stack. 98 blinds. Pass with a couple of 4s. King queen suited for Wizzo in the big blind. Playing about 50 blinds deep. Boopity boo, 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 boo. Oh, 3-bet's coming on in. All in jam from Wizzo. The jam will get through. Whoa. So what do we think about that jam? For 50 blinds just under. Doopity doo, Gogak sniper. Rips in the ace 6 suited. Ace 3 suited for Wizzo in the small blind hits the muck. Lena in the big with ace 4 suited will also throw their suited ace away. 3-8 suited for Lena. Walking out ace king. Good timing. So Wizzo jamming in the king queen. He also did it with the queens. This is just super interesting. You'd expect a not all in 3-bet. Wizzo says no. Just jam it on in. King 8 suited for pass, raising it on up from early position. Facing the raise from Dex. A little 3-bet ski from the ace 4 off. I'd love to see a flop, but pass will just find the fold. Queen 4 from Munsey will raise and take it down pre. Doopity dee. Jack 5 for Munsey. It is suited. They'll raise Gogak sniper with a king and a queen. Rip it on in. Nicely done. The jam will get through. 16 blinds for Gogak. Jack for Wizzo. 10-7 suited for Dex. They're just going to fold from the cutoff. Pass with a king and a 4. Limps on in. Wizzo will raise it on up. What size do we go? 4.3 blinds. Alrighty. Would be cool to see a 3-bet from pass, but they just find the fold. King Jack for Gogak. 16 bigs. What do we do? Goes for the min raise. Ace 9 for Wizzo hits the muck. Lena with an ace and a 5 in the big. Plays call. King Queen 7 flop goes check. Small bet call. 1.5 blinds into 5.2 bigs. Lena with the backdoor royal flush draw does just fold on the flop. Doopity doo. King 9 for pass. We'll raise it on up from the cutoff. Lena with an ace and a 9 in the small blind might just fold. They do. Munsey man with the ace 8 suited calls the big blind. Leads out on the 8-6 4 flop with top pair top kicker. Why the heck not? Pass with 2 overcards in the backdoor straight draw will just fold on the flop. Jack for pass. 55 blinds deep. They min raise once again. Ace 6 for Dex. We'll see if he 3-bets. Much more unlikely, as he didn't have the wheel draw potentials. Ace 9 for Wizzo. They're gonna raise it on up. Munsey man will 3-bet with a king 6 suited, and the 3-bet will get through. Man, Munsey's playing a strong game. 88 blinds for him. Well deserved. Ace and a 5 for pass. We'll see what they do from the small blind playing. 44 bigs effective. They limp it on in. Queen 2 for Wizzo. Jack 10-5 flop. That's bottom pair for pass. Wizzo has 3 in a row in the backdoor flush draw. Jack on the turn. Goes. What do we do with our low pair 5s? Do we ever protect them on the turn? Pass says no, we'll just go for the check call. King on the river. Little pair of 5s. I imagine we check it on over and then hope to pick off a bluff. Do we fold on the river? What a weird spot. Wizzo didn't put in the bet, so we'll never know. Ace 7 for Dex. We'll raise and likely take this down pre-flop. King 4 suited for pass. Looks like an opportunity for them to raise into Munsey Man's big blind. They could have slowed down a little bit because Munsey Man will defend. They have plenty of chips to play with. 10-8-5 flop. 2 clubs for pass. Top pair, top kicker for Munsey. Flop goes check, king on the turn. Not as many chips are going to be fired into the middle now, but pass will still put in a bet, I imagine, on the turn. What size do we go? 2.8 blinds. This will get called. King 6 of clubs on the river. Pass makes his flush, and Munsey is sitting there with a pair of 10s. Leads on out for 2.3 blinds into the 11.3 blind pot. 11.3 big blind pot. Pass will raise it on up with the second nuts. What size do we go? 10.4 blinds. So right around 4x. A little bit more. Munsey plays call. Unfortunate timing. Do. Pass shows him the bad news. And look at that. Pass has 68 blinds. Munsey was 71. Ace and a jack in the small will rip it all in. Facing lane is open. And the jam gets through. Ace 9 for Wizzo. This time they're going to just find the fold. Munsey with 6-3 suited. Also just going to lay it down. Interesting. Gogak gets a walk with 7-5 off. That's a blessing from the poker gods. King Jack for Gogak. I imagine they rip it all in and pass with a couple of 10s in the big blind. Will call quickly. Any king or jack. Oh, just a queen now, but no pass will make 4 of a kind. Doopity-doo. We're going to lose Gogak. So we're down to 5. Pass with the big stack, 83 blinds. Munsey in second place with 75. Wizzo in third with 41. Has a jack 10. Don't think he's going to play it. Especially after pass sticks in a small 3-bet here. Would be nice for Dex to rip in the 9s or at least call. He does find the call. Ace 9, 6 flop. Doopity-doo. Goes check, bet, small bet, 2.5 blinds into 13. Doopity-doo. Just a call by Dex's middle set. 3 on the turn. Slow down, pass. He sizes up a river jam. Although to be fair, the bet's super small. He didn't need to put too many chips in the middle to do so. 29 blinds in the middle. 17 behind. Fold. No, don't fold. Just check. Don't bluff. Passes all in and a quick call. Dex gets it full double up to 62 blinds now. Well played by pass. Nope. Well played by Dex. Pass with the unfortunate big time bluff. Did not get through. Jack 9 suited for pass. 9-7-3 flop goes check. Bet. Fold. I suppose pass could check back top pair, but he's playing interesting. He is going for the little check and then the little straight draw for Munsey Man. He's going to lead on out on the turn, so well played by pass. Check back the flop, get a big bluff out of Munsey Man. 10 on the river, we're chopping the pot. What a horrific river. Pass. Played the hand perfectly. Just gonna call and see the bad news. Do. Queen 4 from Munsey. They're limping it in. Decks with a king and a 2. 10, 7, 6 flop goes. Check, bet, fold. Nope. I don't think Dex bets on the flop. Not with a king and a 2. There's no spade out there. 9 on the turn. Goes check, check. 4 on the river. Munsey makes a little pair. Dex could try to rep the hearts here. It's only 2.6 blinds in the middle, but we may as well fight for them. He does put in a bluff, 1.9 blinds. And then Munsey says, what do I do here? Making a pair of 4s on the river. He finds the call. Nicely done by Munsey. Very small pot, but each one matters. 79 blinds for Munsey. He's in first place once again. Has a couple of ducks here. We'll see if he calls. Wizzo Wizzo's open. Wizzo Wizzo's tightened up a little bit, playing off the 40 blinds. 9-8 suited for Wizzo Wizzo. They go for the open here. King Queen 2 flop. Good news for Munsey. Good thing he called. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw for Wizzo Wizzo. King high board. We may as well stab. Right? Wizzo Wizzo checks. He might not put another penny in the pot. Huge bet by Munsey. And the bet will get through. King 9 suited for Munsey. Ace Jack for Dex. Doopity doo. Wizzo Wizzo in the big blind with a queen and a 4. Facing the 3-bet now has an easy fold. Would have been fun to see just a call. But Dex puts in the 3-bet. Munsey with a king 9 suited again. Puts in the 4-bet. Holy shit. That's difficult to play against. Munsey is putting on a show. Dex with a couple of 4s. Pass with the aces. Would be cool to see a call by pass, but ace is probably gonna 3-bet. Lena with king queen in the big blind. I just wanted to see a 3-way pot, but 3-bet comes in. Lena folds. Dex could go set mining, but they do just land on the fold option. 7-6 suited for pass. They'll open it on up. 9 jack for Munsey in the big blind. Pass just folds 7-6 suited. Interesting. Jack 9 suited. Surely we open. Interesting. Some of that low connected shit passes just fold it. As we see Lena jam in the ace 5 suited and they get it on through. Wow, 7-6 suited. I thought that was a play. Whoa. 50 blinds deep. Passes no. Whoa. Interesting. Anyways, we're going to move along. Dex with ace high. Pass with 9 high. Limp pot. King 7-3 flop goes check, check. 3 on the turn. Goes check. Bet. Ooh, it'd be nice to see a call here, but how do we play on the river? We got no straight draw, no flush draw, just ace high. Dex does find the fold. As Lena picks up aces. Wizzo Wizzo with an ace and an 8. Flopping a pair of 8s. 9, 5, 8. Flop goes check. Bet. Super small bet. Don't raise. Just a call. 10 on the turn. Not the best board for your aces. Queen Jack makes a straight. 6-7 is a flop straight. Lena's all in on the turn, and that will buy the pot. Ace King for Munsey will raise it on up. Wizzo Wizzo with a couple of 4s will fold the small blind, and 5 deuce hits the muck in the big. Ace 3 suited for pass. That looks like an open. 2.2 blinds. Lena rips in the ace and the jack, and that gets through for him. Ace King suited for pass. Oh, that's a stronger hand. Queen 10 off for Lena, likely to hit the muck. And King 4 follows suit. Ace 5 for Dex in the small blind. I think it's going to fold to him. Yep, it does. Eventually. Gets to him. Limps on in. King Jack for pass. Checks it on back. 10-3-3 flop. Backdoor straight flush draw for Dex. Pass with some straight draw potentials as well. Couple of overcards. Queen on the turn. So pass looking for an ace, a king, a jack, or a 9. A diamond is a fun card to bluff. A bet on the turn would have been cool as well. We see the 6 of diamonds on the river. Yeah, if Dex checks. Do we bluff? We got king high. We may as well just check it on back. Could have tried to bluff ace high off the pot, but king jack has showdown value, so may as well just show it down. 8-4, just gonna hit the muck. Wizzo gets a little walk. Ace queen for Wizzo. Munzie with a 3 and a 4 of the same suit. We could just see a call here. Nope. Wizzo sticking to the all-in strategy. You know what? That's interesting, and this is something Wizzo's teaching us here today, which is just jam it all in if you're one of those middling stacks that's supposed to be patient. Don't go for some non-all-in 3-bet, and he started doing that right at 50 big blinds, where I would have thought you just frickin' go for a non-all-in 3-bet. Very interesting stuff. Do. Lena with a queen and a 10 of the same suit. Goes for the 3-bet, and the 3-bet gets through. Then they get an ace and a jack. Pass with the suited ace in the big blind will come along to the flop. Ace 5-3. Bad news for Lena. That's 2 pair for pass. Lena puts in this small bet. Pass can raise this if they want. The board's super dry, so you don't have to. They do put in the raise. Lena's looking for a jack or a 5. Now a 6 also gets the job done. But other than that, Lena's in a hell of a lot of trouble. Half pot size bet on the turn. Lena's going nowhere. To be fair, I think he's made some nice fold. Rips it all in on the turn. Well, I was just gonna say, I think Lena made a good fold earlier. I forget what it was, but now that we've lost some bodies and Lena was the short stack, the ICM pressure's off of him, so he can just get it all in on the turn, he says. King jack suited for Wizzo. 9-8 for Munzie. In position, facing the big bet. Will still play call. 10-5-5 flop. Goes check. Queen on the turn. Munzie looking for an 8 or a jack. Wizzo will bet and take the pot down. Ace king for pass. King queen off for Dex in the big blind will call. 6-4-3 flop. Goes check. Both players with the backdoor flush draw. Check, small bet, fold, and we're moving along. Queen 9 for Wizzo. 6-6 for Dex in the small blind. 5-4 for pass is getting a fair price in the big blind. He comes along. King jack 9 flop, all clubs. Dex with the 6 of clubs is the only player with a club. And he said club like 4 times in 2 seconds. 6 on the turn, interesting stuff. I suppose that locks up the board for Dex. He'll lead on out. Wizzo has a straight draw to the 10, but we're not going to pay to see the river. 5-5 for pass. King 10 for Munzie. Ace 3 for Wizzo. 3 ways to the 6-3-3 flop. Wizzo making 3 of a kind with the backdoor flush draw. We see the 9 of hearts on the turn. Pass looking for a 5. Has a little heart draw as well. Don't think he wants to pay to see the river. 1.6 blinds is a fair price though. Deuce of clubs on the river. What would be fun is to see if Wizzo bets small and pass puts in a check raise bluff. Wizzo overbets, so I think it's much less likely pass jams here. But it would have been fun to see some sort of bluff on the river. Nice fold by pass. They get an ace and a king the next hand. Munzie with 10-3 suited in the big blind calls. Queen 3-2 flop. Bad news for pass. Flop goes check. Small bet. 1.3 blinds into 5.4. Munzie comes along with a pair of 3s. 4 on the turn. Do buddy do 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 buddy do. Pass checks it on back. 7 on the river. goes check, check, and Munsey takes a small pot. Couple of kings for pass this time. Queen 10 suited for decks in the big blind. Let's go to the flop. Queen 9 5, 2 clubs for decks. Doobity doo with that top pair of queens. Do we check raise? Do we just call? Just goes for the call. 2 on the turn. It's a diamond. Goes check. Big bet. What size? What size? Pass. 8.1. He just goes full pot. Decks can't fold just quite yet with that flush draw, 2 pair draw, 3 of a kind draw, 3 of hearts on the river. That's a brick. Pass could go for some more value here. And then the question is, what size do you go? Do you just jam it all in? Weird spot with the king and the king. Does just rip it all in. I don't know if Queen 10 calls. We'll see. Hopefully decks can just find the fold here. Flop he has to call, turn he has to call, river he's just in hell. Doobity doo 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 doo. Obviously losing the aces, kings, ace, queen. King, queen might even go for 3 streets. But then kings, it's a weird spot with kings as well. But I suppose that's just a mandatory jam on the river. Or a mandatory value bet of some sort. I wonder if he goes small, or does decks pay off the river bet, or does it just look like value too much? Weird spot there. Nice fold by decks in the end. Wizzo with a little pair of 5s facing the 1 big blind bet will come along to the 9 on the turn, giving Munsey 2 pairs. Wizzo not going to get a free river, sees a full pot size bet. We'll have a pretty easy fold here. Couple of 9s for Wizzo. King Jack for Munsey. We'll see what happens. We see a limp. Raise to 3 blinds. Wizzo could jam, and they do quickly rip it in. Munsey lays down the king and the jack. So that's very cool. Wizzo teaching us things here today. Just do the limp raise jam strat. Just frickin' do it with your pair of 9s. Just rip it in with your queen. Rip it in with your king suited. Just rip it in. It's very interesting. Now we just gotta make a final table and look to implement the strategy, right? Good luck to everybody. Ace and a 5 for Munsey. They're gonna raise it on up. King 10 for pass. Jack 7 6 flop. Goes check 4 on the turn. Doopity doo. Pass still looking for a king or 10. No straight help on the turn, no flush help. Munsey does have the open-ended straight draw to the 3 or 8. They'll go for a big betski. I imagine the big betski gets through. Doopity doo. 4-3 getting a walk for Wizzo. That's good news for them. Munsey getting a walk with a jack and a 6. Doopity doo. Jack 5 for Munsey. We could raise it on up. They limp it on in. Alrighty rule. Teaching us some things. Just go post flop with your jack 5 off. King 10 5 flop. All spades. Goes check bet call. Deck's just looking for a spade and he bangs one off on the river. He's got the 3 of spades. I don't think he bets for value, but like he's got a flush. He's just going to check and look to win the pot, and he does. Super small one, but 34 blinds now for decks. He's got an ace and an 8. Would be fun to see a 3 bet. Nice, 7 blinds to go, and the bet will get through. King Jack for decks. They raise it on up. Munsey in the big blind with ace 4 will call. Jack 9 flop goes check. Small bet 1.5 blinds into 5 blinds in the middle, and the bet gets through. Ace 7 for pass, raising and taking it down pre-flop. Boppity bop. 9 for pass, getting a walk. It's bad news for them. Ace and a king for Wizzo. Queen 8 for pass. Big raise by pass, 3.5 blinds. Wizzo playing with about 36 bigs. We'll stick in at 3-bet. What size do we go? 9 bigs. Leaving ourselves with 27, and the 3-bet will get through. 2 and a 2 for Wizzo. They limp it on in. Munsey with an ace and a 3 checks it on back. Queen 10 flop goes bet call. 8 on the turn. No help for Munsey. Looking for, oh, that 8 will do. Counterfeit pair of 2s for Wizzo. Could go for a bluff here. Would be interesting just to see a little check, but he goes for the big bet. And Munsey playing ace high with a couple of queens and 8s finds the call. Nicely done. King for pass. Jack 9 suited for decks in the big blind. We'll go to the flop here. Queen 6-3, 1 heart for decks. Backdoor straight draws, but not enough for him to... Oh, small bet, 1.3 blinds. Decks does just fold though. Jack 10 for decks. Ace 9 for pass in the big blind. Big raise by decks with the Jack and the 10. 3.1 blinds. Pass finds the call. King 7 5 flop. Weird spot for decks now. Does go for a little bet ski. Ace 9 comes along to the 3 on the turn. Whoa, wee 10 blinds in the middle. Decks with 10 high, checks it on over. And pass. Do we protect our equity here? No, we just go for the check. Jack of diamonds on the river. That's a pair for decks. He'll scoop the 10 bigs in the middle now. Ace 9 for pass. 2.5 blinds is the bet. We don't have a diamond in our hand. I think we could just find the fold. Move along pass. He's thinking about a call, but nope. Jack 9 for Munsey. Eat 8 for decks. Wizzo with the queen and a 5 will fold the big blind. 8-4-3 flop. Goes check. King on the turn. No help for Munsey. Looks like he's just done with the pot. Sees a little Betsky on the turn, and he'll fold. Ace 5 for pass. We'll raise it on up. Wizzo with the king and an 8 could 3-bet here. Doopity-doo. And it's just an all-in again. Whoa, Wizzo is playing incredibly. Ace 8. It seems so easy just to rip it all in. But maybe that's just the play. If you're going to 3-bet, just rip it all in. King 7 for decks. Goes for the 3x raise. 9-7 calls the big blind. Jack 5-4 flop. Pass with some backdoor straight draws. Sees a half pot sized bet, and that's too large for him to continue. King 10 for pass. Boopity boo in the small blind. Queen 5 suited for Wizzo waiting in the big blind. Sees a 3.5x raise. That's unfortunate. I think we still pay it. Let's go to the flop. 10-4-3. Top pair for pass. Wizzo with 3 in a row in the backdoor flush draw. Does see a small bet. 2.2 blinds. Doobity-doo. Puts in the raise to 7 bigs. Pass is not folding. That's unfortunate. But we love to see the attempt. Mmm. 6 of clubs on the turn. So that's an open-ended straight draw now for Wizzo. He could just check back and look to realize his equity. Doesn't have to put in another bet here. Says, yeah, I'm going to just check it back. King on the river. 2 pairs for pass. No value to be had, but he'll go for a Betsky here, I think. What size? All-in dealer. Quick fold by Wizzo. And we're moving along. Queen 8 for decks, raising it up. Pass with an ace and a queen. Will 3-bet. Oh, goes for the call. Interesting. 9-6-4 flop. Goes check. Do we put in a small bet to protect our hand? Nah, 5 on the turn. Whoa. Decks with a straight draw to the 7. We'll check it on over. Boop. 8 on the river. Dex making a pair. The 6 blinds will go his way. He bets 1.7. And then what the hell do we do with ace queen? I wouldn't be surprised to see a call here. Does find the call and sees the bad news. Doopity doo. Ace 8 for pass. Ace king for Munsey. 6-5 waiting in the big blind. We'll see a 3 bet, so Dex quickly folds. Pass with an ace and an 8 can also let this go. Do 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 do. Pass getting a walk. Boppity bop. 2-2 for Dex. Ace and a 5 for Wizzo Wizzo in the big blind. The ducks hit the muck. 9-3 suited for pass in the small blind. Will raise it on up to 3 blinds. And Wizzo Wizzo's in a weird spot with his ace 5 off. He's just going to stick it all in just like he's been doing. That'll buy the pot pre-flop. Queen Jack for Dex. Wizzo Wizzo with a king and a 10. All in from Wizzo Wizzo. And the jam gets through. Beautiful shit from Wizzo Wizzo. He's in last place, so he's got no ICM pressure on him right now. And even when he had the ICM pressure on him, as they like to say, he was still just frickin' ripping it on in. It's a beautiful counterplay. Ace 7 for pass. Ace deuce for Dex. 8-8-6 flop goes check. Check. Ace on the turn. So we got some chop outs. Any card above a 7. Boopity boo. Do 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 bitty do do bitty do 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 bitty do. Betting a call on the turn. King on the river. We're chopping this bad boy up, providing nobody folds. Five blinds is the bet, and a quick call, and we chop it on up. Ace 7 for Munsey. Ace 8 for Wizzo Wizzo. Queen 4-3 flop goes check. Min bet. Call. 6 on the turn. Whoa wee wah. Little straight draw for Munsey. Looking for a 5 or a 7. Doesn't hit it. King on the river. Goes check. Check. And Wizzo Wizzo takes a nice little 7 big blind pot. Ace 8 for Wizzo Wizzo. Queen Jack for Munsey. Limp. Check. King 10-2 flop. Check. Check. 6 on the turn. Wizzo Wizzo with a flush draw. Munsey's open-ended. Smacks a pair of queens on the river, and that's good for the 2.5 blinds in the middle. You might go for a little bit more. What size do we go? 1.5? He goes 4 blinds. Overbets the river. Would love to see a bluff by Wizzo Wizzo, but they're going to find the fold, of course, with ace high. Queen 10 for pass. We'll raise it on up. 9-8 for Dex. Plays call. Ace 7 3 flop. Goes check, bet, fold, and we're moving along. Queen 3 for Dex. 7-3 for pass. Limp pot. Pass. Thinking about a raise here. Looking to buy it pre-flop. 3.5 blinds to go. Out of positions. Queen 3 suited. Very unfortunate spot for Dex. They just lay it down. Jack 7 offsuit for Munsey. We'll raise and take it down pre. Then he gets a 5 and a 3 facing the limp from Wizzo Wizzo's ace queen. Munsey raises it up. Wizzo Wizzo likely will jam. All in dealer, and Munsey will quickly fold. Ace and a 5 for pass. King 9 for Munsey. Queen 8 for Dex. Everybody has clubs. This is kind of fun to see. Very unlikely, but if a flush comes, that would be magical. Always see a 3 bet by Dex with the queen and the 8. I suppose either one of the other players could 4 bet. What do we do? Okay, so it's either I think somebody's going to 4 bet or we fold. You know what? Pass says call. 7-6-4 flop. Both players with straight draws. No clubs out there, obviously. Dex goes for a bet ski. 8.8 blinds. Pass looking for a 3 or an 8. Surely we can't fold on the flop here. Bangs off a 3 on the turn. Now he just has to avoid a 5 on the river. I don't think we get there. Do we just rip it in now? Look at all the flush draws. Look at all the straight draws. To be fair, deck shouldn't have the straight draws, but he could have the flush draws. So pass puts in a 5.5 big blind bet, and he'll scoop the pot with the straight. I suppose there's no surprise there. What is deck's gonna do? Call on the turn? Doesn't matter how much you bet. He's got a straight draw to the 5, and there's a bunch of flush draws and other straight draws out there. Other pairs out there and all that other shit. Dex just has to let it go. Ace and a jack for pass. 6-5 suited for Wizzo Wizzo. Pass thinking about a raise. They go for the 3 big blind raise. Wizzo Wizzo calls 6-5. 10-9 7 flop goes. Bet. Straight draw to the 8 backdoor flush draw. Pass will check it on over. Wizzo Wizzo with a straight draw to the 8 and the backdoor flush draw. Very interesting. One of these players is in a good situation, the other player not so much. But we get the 7 of diamonds on the turn, so that's good news for Wizzo Wizzo. He's going to put in a big bet here. 6 blinds in the middle, and he bets about 5. Pass calls, 3 on the river. 17 blinds in the middle. Would love to see a bluff by Wizzo Wizzo. Tell us what size to go. He says I'm just going to check and show down the 6 high. Pass, scooping a nice pot there with ace high. Decks with a couple of 10s. We'll raise and take it down pre. Ace and a 7 for pass. We'll raise. Decks with 7-4 in the big blind. It is suited, so he comes along to the king jack 7 flop. It's a lot of 7s out there. Both players with a pair of 7s. Goes check, bet, call. 3 on the turn. Pass, we'll check it on back, and a 10 on the river. River goes check, check, and pass scoops the pot. 10 jack for Wizzo Wizzo. It is suited, looks like a play. Ace queen for Muns. Wizzo Wizzo limps it on in. Interesting, off the 24 big blind stack. Faces a raise from Muns. Do we call? Do we just fold? Do we 4-bet? Or not 4-bet, 3-bet. We do 3-bet all in. 7, oh, ace on the turn, deads Wizzo Wizzo. I was wondering, do we just rip it all in? Wizzo Wizzo says, you know what? That's what we do. Ace and a queen finds the call. Wizzo Wizzo's Gonzo Alonzo. Sorry, I said 4-bet. It was only a 3-bet. Right? Because it's a limp, which is 1. Raise, which is 2. All in, which is 3. That's a 3-bet. Ace and a 5 for pass. 4-7 suited for Muns. Limp pot. Jack 4-3 flop. Pass with a straight draw to the deuce. Backdoor flush draw. Goes for a little bet ski. 1 big blind. Gets called. That's 3 of a kind now for Muns. Boopity boo. Pass slows down. A 2 still works for him. 6 blinds on the turn. I don't think he's going to go to the river. Finds a fold. And we're moving along. Jack, jack for pass. Jack 10 suited for Muns. Could 3-bet here. He plays call from the small. 9-6 completes the big blind. Ace, ace 5 flop. Goes check, check. Super small bet. Backdoor royal flush draw for Munsey. Puts in the raise here. 6 blinds to go, and pass might find the fold. Maybe not on the flop, but if another barrel comes in, 5 on the turn. Very interesting spot for the jacks. 5 is not a good card to see. I suppose as long as we don't see clubs, that's good news. 14 blinds to go. Holy shit, what a bluff here by Muns. Does pass fold on the turn is the question. If he calls, I don't think a river bluff is coming on in. Pass folds the jacks on the turn, and that's horrific news for him. Doopity-doo, Munz gets a big bluff through. Raising the 10-7, ace-king will 3-bet super small. And fold. Ace and a king for Munz. Gonna get a walk, I think. Yep. Doopity-doo, queen 4 for Munz. Limping it in. Queen 7 for Dex. Checking it back. Ace 9-5 flop goes check, check. Right? 7 on the turn. Munz has no outs. Sees a 1.7 big blind bet into the 2.3 in the middle. And the bet gets through, of course. King 4 for Dex will just lay it down. It was suited. Could have played from the button. 9-7 for Munz. Jack 10 for pass. Ace 4 flop goes check. Min bet. Pass is thinking about a raise or call. Finds the call. Deuce on the turn. No help from Munz. No heart. Oh, he still puts in a huge bet here. 3.8 blinds. Could you imagine if pass called again with Jack high? It would have been an amazing play, but they just let it go, of course. King queen for Munz. 3-3 for Dex. Boopity boo. 20 some blinds deep. Munz goes for the 3x raise. I don't know. Do we dunk it in? We do dunk in the threes. King high flop. That's bad news for Dex. He's going to be gone to Alonso in third place. Now we're playing heads up for about 47k, 48k. Ooh, doopity doo. 10 and a 2 for pass. King 10 for Munz. Queen 9-8 flop. All clubs. Munz bets a big blind. Pass calls. Queen on the turn. Doopity doo doo doo. Oh, deuce of spades on the river. Are you serious? Man, pass had like what, 2 outs? There's one of them. Smacks it on the river and takes a nice little pot. Doopity doo. 3-5 for pass. 8-4 for Munz. Ace jack 7 flop goes check. Bet. Fold. And we're moving along. Queen 8 for Munz. Jack 7 for pass. King 6-3 flop. Goes check, check, check. 3 on the turn. Goes check, check, check. 9 on the river. Goes bet. No, check, check once again. And the queen high is good. 7-5 for pass. They're going to raise it on up. Munz will 3-bet the king 4 off. Playing about 70 blinds deep in the 5-7 calls. Ace 6-4 flop. Super interesting. Munz with that bottom pair 3 or 4, sorry. Bets 3.8 blinds. Passes open-ended. Backdoor flush draw. Ace on the turn. Doopity doo. Pass looking for a 3, a 5, a 7, or a 8. Doopity doo 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 doo. Turn goes check. Let's see a bet here. Blast off pass. 15 blinds. He goes 7.7, so super small, interesting shit. Not sizing up an all-in on the river. 8 of clubs. That's good news for pass. Doopity doo 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 doo. Doopity doo 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 doo. Doopity doo 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 doo. Goes deep into the time bank. Jams it all in. So we did decide to jam it all in, even though the stack to pot ratio isn't 1-to-1. It's right around there, so you know what? We'll give pass a pass. And the king 4 still calls down, so nicely done by pass. 135 blinds to 34. I suppose Munz is now up to 38, has a 6 and a 4. Queen 4 for pass. That's a lot of 4s being said. Jack 4-3 flop goes check. Min bet. Raise. Uh-oh, Munzy's in trouble here. He does have the backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. But he's going to get a call from Queen 4 on the flop. Bet's super small on the turn here. Hopefully looking to check on the river. 8 of diamonds. What if you put in a big bet? I think the bet would get through, but we're going to see it go check, check, and that makes a lot of sense. Queen 9 for Muns. 8-3 will hit the muck for pass. King 3 for pass. We'll limp it on in. 5 and a 10 checks it on back. Ace Queen 8 flop goes check. Check. Nope. Min bet. Get a call from Muns. 8 of spades on the turn. That's no help for him. Do. Turn goes check check. 7 on the river. No club for Muns. Won't be easy to bluff here, but he does put in the 4 big blind bet. A lot of draws miss. Pass might find the call with the king high here, and that would be one hell of a hero call. Does find it. Nicely done. Holy shit. That's a very nice call with king high. 6-4 for Muns. Limping it in. Ace king queen flop goes check check. 9 on the turn. Passes a straight draw to the 10 and the best hand with jack high. 7 on the river. Would be nice to see Muns putting a little bet here. Buy this 2.2 big blind pot. Does bet 1.5 blinds and the bet gets through, of course. Queen 10 for pass. 7-4 for Muns, who will defend the big blind. Ace Queen 8 flop. Nothing interesting here, just a bet and a fold. Doopity doo. Queen facing the limp will raise it on up. 5-7, probably gonna fold facing the raise. And yeah, and we're quickly moving along. 6-9 versus 6-8 limp pot. 10-8 2 flop. 1 diamond for pass. No clubs for Muns, but he's got the pair of 8s. Ace of clubs on the turn. Pass looking for a 9 or 7. We get the deuce of clubs on the river. Muns goes for a little betski, and the 9 high folds. 5 deuce, limping it in. Pass with a 3 and an 8. Checks it on back. Queen 7 4 flop. Goes check bet, fold, and we're moving along. Ace 2 for pass. Queen 7 for Muns. Limp pot. 8-6-5 flop goes check. Check. 9 on the turn. Muns makes a straight and pass doesn't pick up any flush equity, so he just finds the fold. King 4 for Muns. King Jack for pass. Limp pot. Pass says no, it's not. Muns does call King 7 2 flop, providing there's no chops. Muns is in some trouble here. Pass puts in a very small bet. Ace of hearts on the turn will save Muns his life. Right. Pass will go for a little bit more value. 3.2 blinds into the 11 big blind pot. Quick call by Muns. Queen on the river. I don't think pass jams it all in here. Might go for a small bet. Might check it on over. He says small bet, 4.3 blinds. And Muns is likely to call. It would be a hero fold. It would be an amazing fold, but he's going to tank and call and see the bad news. King versus ace 7 suited. This will get in pre-flop. Doopity do. Raise to 3 blinds from Muns. I suppose pass could just call. Uh-oh. 5-4-2 flop. 2 spades for Muns. He's got the straight draw to the 3. Backdoor straight draw. To what, like 6-8? The flush draw. Lots going on here. Flop goes check 9 on the turn. Whoa, wee-wee-wah. We could have saw this get all in pre-flop. We could have saw it get all in on the flop. Instead, Muns still has a stack to pot ratio of 2-1. Pass will put in a little betski on the turn. About half pot. Or exactly. We get the 6 of spades on the turn, so that's all good news for Muns. Does pass just check it back? There's a 1-liner to a 3. 8-7 makes a straight. Spades get there. You got king. Pass jams, and Muns gets the full double. Doopity doo. King 10 versus 7-5. So yeah, again, that could have got all in pre-flop, all in on the flop. Muns was just destined to win that hand. 7-5 suited for Muns, flopping the flush draw, pass with the backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw as well. 20 blinds deep, 7 blinds in the middle. Muns puts in 2.2 more. Pass finds the call. 5 on the turn, pairs Muns up. He'll put in a 3.6 blind bet, making the pair of 5s, and pass will just fold to king 10. 9-5. Do we limp it on in? No, we raise it on up. 8-3 defends. Jack, Jack, 8 flop. Goes check. Small bet. Call, 8 on the turn. Good news for Muns. Boopity boo, boop, 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 boo. Pass will check back the turn and make a pair of 9s on the river. That's bad news for him. Might call a raise here on the river. I don't think he bets if check to. We see a 5.7 big blind bet. Flushes did complete. Do we just fold the pair of 9s? No, not gonna happen. Big pot slides Muns' way. So he's back in the game with 40 bigs. Has a king and a 7. Pass with a 3 and a 10. Doopity doo. 3-10 folding, moving along, 5-4 raising and taking it down pre. 6 is raising. This pass gonna defend the 8-4. Nope. Ace and a king versus an 8 and an 8. This could get it all in pre-flop. 2.2 big blind raise, a 3 bet to 8 blinds. Pass jams it all in. Quick call by Muns. Any ace, king, or 10. We get a king on the turn, and just like that, the show is over.
Congratulations, you are a winner.
Yeah, way to go, Pass. Holy shit. He did a good job of scooping this one, eh? Way to go, Pass. Holy shit. Where do you start this bad boy off at? He did have the big stack starting this thing off. But he did run pretty freaking hot. Played very well. Muns also played a damn good game. Gets second place. That's kind of interesting to see. We had all the big stacks kind of just survive. I suppose when you start off with a couple of 3 big blind stacks, it's rather likely that players are just going to bust in the position that they're already in. Anyways, what the fuck am I even saying at this point? Doesn't really matter. That's the end of the show. So if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this shit out. Hopefully we'll see you in another one. Till then, adios amigos.